Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Boys and a Movie, where we dissect films, break it down, give you proper analysis and with our opinions about what the film did good, what the film did bad, what could be done, what should not have been done, all of that. And today we are going to talk about
Kalki 2898 AD. You didn't watch the movie, even though we are trying to keep it as spoiler free as possible. There might be mild spoilers, so we would definitely recommend you to go and watch it because it's a review in one line. Both of us will tell you that go, definitely it's worth your money watching in theaters. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
You should go to theaters and watch it.
But to all the people who've already watched it, mention it in the comments below. Was it a sixer or was it a clean board? What do you think about the film? Let us know.
Or middle ground, that is the thing. So now we'll get to
Test
the
match.
context. So I have my complaints with Kalki 2898 AD, but definitely the second half really worked for me so much that it reached a medium ground where I am happy with the film, but he is very disappointed with the film.
Yeah, so as soon as I walked out of the film and people started to ask me, how was the film, the line that was in my mind, what I said, told everybody is that I liked the film, but I was just as disappointed with it. I liked the film, but I was just as disappointed with it. This comes from a place of love for the film because I totally appreciate whatever efforts went into it. I acknowledge the fact that this film is like a stepping stone for Indian cinema to dive deeper into the world of science fiction and explore the mythological stories that we have to offer and all of it. But still, it's not that I expected more. I sort of expected better is one way to put it.
Okay. What are the things that you didn't like in the movie?
Do we have to start with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I didn't like in the film is that many points in many places I felt like this is getting more complex than it needs to be.
Okay.
The way the story, not the story, the way the characters or the characterizations of even places was being written, it felt like all of a sudden it was getting too complex, while in the prelude to that it was very simple. I felt like it could have been better scattered so that people will actually feel the impact when it arrives rather than, you slapping the people with that impact all at once.
Yeah, which is to an extent true, which I also felt. This movie is disjointed in a way. So in general, when there are different screenplay patterns, right, linear, non-linear and all of that, this movie weirdly chose a very old school linear screenplay pattern, which is still okay. But the problem,
okay, but it didn't complement the kind of story it was
the
saying.
kind of story that was chosen, because if you choose linear pattern, right, there are so many words like complex, there is Sambala, and there is Kashi, the city which is happening, and there is a place where Ashwadhama is, and there is so much happening. So when you choose a linear screenplay, there is only little that you can show because that is only taking you towards the proceedings, and it feels like there are so many loose threads open which are not tied in the end. So there is some amount of disappointment feeling. Not disappointment is not the right word. It's like you're not feeling complete when you watch the movie. You are full of questions.
It was not satisfying.
Yeah.
కొంచెం గ్యాప్ ఇవ్వాలి.
Again, I get the whole idea of saving the stories and plots for future films to come. But I really don't understand how you can leave this film or the audiences in this film not completely satisfied and choose to keep more things for the next film. But if the audience isn't completely satisfied here, why will they come for the next one?
Correct. So, this time I would really like to quote S.S. Rajamouli, because he is, when you see some attempts like this is when you understand the brilliance of S.S. Rajamouli. I'll give you one example of what really didn't work in Kalki and what worked in Bahubali. If you look at Bahubali, right, so either you go through the character, explore, see what the character is saying, and then slowly reveal the world, like the audience will know the world according to how the character will know the world, and then slowly reveal the conflict point. That is one way of going about it. Or like how Bahubali 1 is dealing, you are slowly telling all the setting up, one bang, and then slowly lead it to the conflict. That is one way. Here it clearly feels like Nag Ashwin, the Deepika Padukone arc or the character or the depth or the backstory also, it is not explored. You are just seeing Deepika Padukone feeling emotional, feeling confused. It's so many emotions without any background, so you don't connect to the movie. Even in my quick review, I mentioned the same thing. There's no emotional connect with any of the characters.
ఇంకెంత మంది చనిపోవాలి?
If you take Bhairava, for example, I still remember the scene. I think all the people who watched Alavaikuntapuramlo starring Allu Arjun, there's this scene where he's entering the house in the second half, like that song Alavaikuntapuramlo.
Right.
You know, there is some high that you get when you see an act, that kind of scene where, you know, somebody is waiting, struggling, aiming for something like that, and when they get it, it's another level of high that the audience will feel as if they are that character. But clearly in this, first of all, execution of Disha Patani character and the way the whole complex setup was there, it was only haphazardly executed. And then I didn't feel anything when Prabhas is in complex. If Disha Patani can, again, mild spoiler, but it's not that big of a spoiler. If Disha Patani can find a route to get into complex so easily, then why is he struggling the entire movie? His only dialogue is getting into complex.
Again,
ఎంత మంచి కళ ఉన్నాను తెలుసా మనం కాంప్లెక్స్లో ఉన్నామంట.
someone, Bhairava is shown like someone who is a little lazy and laid back and all of it, but he's also shown as this legendary fighter.
Correct.
Because there are characters here who are hyping him up like that. There are characters who are like, oh, you are my hero and all of this. So when he has such a reputation, why is
Correct.
he struggling so much to find work? He could have easily, in my opinion, if Disha Patani could get into the complex so easily, he could have easily been one of those henchmen.
Exactly. The most important scene of the arc of Bhairava, which is going into the complex, fell so flat in the first half. Most of the problems were with the first half, I think, bro.
I don't know. Even in the second half also I have complaints. So other characters that lacked depth.
I feel other than Ashwadhama character,
Everybody.
every character
Yeah,
lacked
yeah,
depth.
yeah.
There's no emotional attachment to any of the characters other than Ashwadhama. It's not just about Big B, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan pulling it off like crazy. It's also the way the character was written. This is more not Kalki or Bhairava. This is Ashwadhama. Part 1 Ashwadhama. That is how it is supposed to be seen. Because, you know, you feel Ashwadhama's emotion, you feel what he's going through, what his ultimate goal is, and you feel why he's fighting. And for all the audience, right, when Prabhas is fighting Ashwadhama and Ashwadhama is beating Prabhas left, right, and center, the Bhairava character, in general, people are like, how is Prabhas falling? You know, that should be the problem. But if you look at it in this movie, it's so convincingly placed. The emotion works because Ashwadhama character is written like that. But all the other characters, Deepika Padukone character was
Flat.
sometimes it feels like I don't understand what are you feeling right now. Is it sad, happy?
No, exactly. Deepika's character was so confusingly written. In
Correct.
one phase, she is this naive, doesn't know anything. In another phase, she is crying all the time. Suddenly, she becomes this strength and she breaks out of that enclosure. She
Correct.
comes out like a phoenix. Again, she
Game
falls
of
down.
Thrones season 1 climax.
Again,
that
she is.
scene.
Yeah.
That also fell so flat for the people who
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
it. It's
And-
such an iconic scene with so much potential, but it just
Again, it's not just that much. She goes out, she's confused again.
Yeah.
In the next segment, as soon as she gets into a safer place, she is this sassy character who's a little, you know,
Yeah.
arrogant and all. Once she is under the protection of Ashwatthama, it was all over the place.
రే రవి నీ ఫీలింగ్స్ నాకు అర్థమయ్యారా జీవితం అంటే అంతేరా
You know, that's the kind of problem that we faced with all the character development.
And
let's not even talk about Disha
The
Patani
small,
character.
Disha,
Kaira,
nothing. The smaller
Senapati.
characters,
Senapati, I thought will have a lot of potential, but still again.
even Shobna.
Shobana, yeah. Shobana character also fell flat. And the most important, and for me personally, the most annoying character is the villain character, Shashwata Chatterjee. I don't know what didn't work with that character. Maybe the wittiness they tried to bring up with that character, or he is
Was
the
it
next
the
villain.
language barrier? What
Yeah,
is
I don't
happening?
know, but he is the next big thing after Supreme Yaskin. That is what the story says, right? But I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that at all. He's not terrifying. He's nothing. And we, in one of the interviews where Nag Ashwin mentioned, we thought a lot about if today's world is so bad in terms of adharma side, then imagine 2898 AD, it should be filled with adharma. Starting from the intro Rajendra Prasad scene till the climax, I didn't feel any
Yeah.
adharma kind of
We
where
will-
it, oh my god,
I
this is
know.
scary.
We should get into the cameos as well.
No, we are not revealing cameos.
ఇలాంటి చాలా ఉన్నాయి ఇంకా దాచాం కుప్పలు కుప్పలుగా.
That
He
that
saved
is,
it for you guys.
Yeah, please go watch.
Anyway, another big thing leading up to the promotions, a big chunk of the promotions was surrounding Buji and Bhairava.
Correct.
But did that camaraderie work How much did it work for you?
For me, the camaraderie definitely worked. I enjoyed the camaraderie a lot, but my only complaint is I feel they could have cut Deepika Padukone scenes a little and given more to Kirti Suresh and Prabhas dynamic because it was working. It was one of the few emotional moments that in the movie that was working, and that got very less screen time. Because it's not, there are scenes where it's just Buji, Prabhas is not even in the frame, and I'm thoroughly enjoying. So that is the kind of connect they have already built. And that is the power of promotions and building that connect with audience, right? Because Buji and Bhairava link is established. They tried trailer, launch, that prelude episode. So I have context. So I'm already invested. I don't want to know anything. That is clearly lacking, especially with Deepika Padukone character a lot, because you don't feel anything.
Frankly speaking, the Buji Bhairava arc was a little underutilized in my opinion, because that was the most
My Buji.
this guy distracted me. Yeah, it was underutilized because that was the kind of connect that was already built through all the promotions, the car. One of the major event for the promotion of the film was surrounding the car.
Correct.
And there was 2 episodes of establishing their relationship and all of it. So when there was so much connect, it felt like it was underutilized, because at the end of the day, if I practically look at what was happening on the screen, you could see that banter, you could see the support and all of it, but you didn't really see a lot of their what they mean to each other. You didn't really see that in the film.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because even when the first time that Buji,
No spoilers.
so at a low point between Bhairava and Buji, it didn't seem like Bhairava cared a lot about Buji, but he was more invested in getting his redemption. It was
I
just
don't know, this
about
is my
bringing the
opinion.
big dog.
Maybe, but still, I liked it. I didn't feel anything missing. What do you think? For the people who watched it, please mention that in the comments below. It's so difficult to not talk spoilers. Go watch it, guys. What are you doing? The whole part, this is the establishment, which is in first half, fell so flat. The first half could have been much better with the characters. The first half of Kalki 2898 AD is Dune 1. It's just flat. There's so much happening. We know there is so much happening. There is somebody dying, somebody crying, but still, you're not feeling anything. You're just watching.
There's somebody dying, somebody crying.
No, that's not a spoiler. It's a
not
movie.
a spoiler, it's a nice rhyme.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was flat, but again, to give little props to the first half, I would say that all the fans will enjoy, because that is where all the fan pleasing was
Correct.
there. Yeah, my phone agrees too.
Bhairava first fight, though I liked it. A lot of people are critiquing it, but it was fun watching it. It was fun.
Time pass. It was not.
Wad body
It was not
We
Kalki.
need that kind of fight.
It
guys.
was not Kalki 2898 AD fight. It was
That's why it is Bhairava who's fighting.
rebel fight.
It's rebel fight.
Yeah.
Rebel time it is. See, I am also not a Prabhas fan. He's also not a Prabhas fan. We in general
We
like
are
cinema.
cinema fans.
Yeah, we love cinema.
Yes.
So we like cinema. If Gilly was a really good movie, I would have liked it. Just letting you know. Okay, let's get to the music. I expected a better. The soundtrack was good. I really liked the BGM, but the songs were underwhelming to say the least.
Yeah. The songs, it seemed like they wanted to bring in this touch of reality.
Correct.
It seemed like Shobana was singing her song, or Amitabh Bachchan was singing his song, but it didn't really touch. I would listen to Diljit Dosanjh's song during the first match. That was really good. But again, it was half here, half there, split across, and
Everything, everywhere, all at once, guys. I think that's it.
that is all of the film.
One more thing, without giving any spoilers again, I like the climax 20 minutes and especially the reveal, the twist, kahani mein twist jo bolte na, adi mast unde. Kan vidiki nachale.
ఏమైందిరా నీకు ఎందుకు ఎప్పుడు అట్లా చిరాకు పడుతుంటావు వెయిట్ చేసిందా అరే కారా లస్సీ కాబట్టి
Let's talk about that.
ఎందుకు నచ్చలే? See, I throughout the film there is this hype about Bhairava. So if we know the character from the mythology,
Correct.
Kala Bhairava is someone who's supposed to be the protector of Kashi.
Correct.
I was
And we made a
waiting.
video also about this.
Yes.
It's in the channel.
I was waiting for Kala Bhairava to come, because he seems like such an interesting character that we've not really seen on any of the pop culture references. We've not seen his films or anything like that. None of it has been in big scale. So I was really excited to see what Nag Ashwin's rendition of Kala Bhairava would be in this futuristic setting. When that would kick in, when that power would kick in, it never did.
I have a totally contrast opinion. Even though in the story discussion video I mentioned that if there is some, rather than just sticking to Bhairava, if there is some reincarnation or some distress kind of a role, if it is, I would be disappointed. But I enjoyed the reveal thoroughly because it came out of nowhere and I could see the parallels of it happening. And then when it happened, the way they executed it was the game. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Clearly, we have difference in opinion. What do you think?
Are we
Mention
not
that in the
talking about the things that we liked?
Yeah, we are. I think we are done with the negatives. There are so many positives also, guys. So
Yeah.
it will take time for positives.
See,
that's
like
all.
I said, I liked the film. I did. I was disappointed, but I liked the film as well.
Yeah.
That I myself am very torn apart into two different worlds. That is how I promise, Mummy Kasam, I walked out of the theater like this. This is what I've been saying since yesterday. Well, this is something even you should look forward to. I absolutely, even though it was only for a, I don't know, 30 to 45 seconds, max 1 minute, Amitabh Bachchan versus Amitabh Bachchan happens in the film, and
That is a spoiler, brother.
I think that is a juicy spoiler.
Oh my god. Should we keep it?
Yes. It's a juicy spoiler. People look forward to it. You should watch it. It is,
Okay. So my favorite thing about Kalki 289880, for me, most of the cameos worked. And the cameos that worked like wonders. That was a very smart move. Especially the 5 years cameo that everybody is talking about. Bang on. You didn't like it?
No, I feel like if I get into the cameos, I might
Spoil it.
spoil it. So
He didn't like
will
one.
stay
He
in.
spoke to me about it. He didn't like one specific cameo.
No. I liked one specific cameo.
Okay.
I totally, thoroughly enjoyed one specific cameo.
Is it the 5 years cameo? 5 years, 10 years?
No,
Not that one.
not that one.
Okay.
That one was fine.
Okay.
It came in
We'll
fluid.
give some guessing to them. So
the
code
impactful
word.
cameo. Captain.
Oh, that cameo. Oh, okay.
It could have been used better,
Yeah.
but it is not the fault of the cameo or
Correct.
the character. It is the underutilization again, which happened throughout with all the other characters except for
So
Amitabh
why not
Bachchan.
cameos?
Yeah.
It's okay. And another good thing is definitely the details. So I personally feel like, because I really want to watch Kalki 289880 for the second time, because I noticed some details, even though we pointed out so many negatives where the character establishment is not happening through the scenes or dialogue, but the background that is happening and the
Yeah.
details that are left in
Yeah,
the background,
exactly.
the artwork, the details given there, I really feel there's a lot happening in there, and kudos to the detailings.
The point here is there is so much with characters, there is so many things happening on the screen, you can't really look at everything all
Correct.
at once. There are so many things in the background that you will definitely miss, which is what, again, if you're going for the second time, that is what I'd like to concentrate
Correct.
on more than the half-explored characters.
Artwork, I really liked
Yes,
the
yes,
art
yes,
design,
yes.
all the sets, all the
Sets, art
ideas,
designs.
execution of those ideas. It really felt like I was watching a Hollywood
Yeah.
standard
Even the
film.
complex,
Yeah, the
the
complex.
complex looked good.
Yeah,
It will look good if we mute the song and watch it.
yeah, actually. And whatever was happening there, you just look at the visuals.
Just the visuals, the way the complex has been built. It I don't know the science behind it, but
It's pretty good.
it looks
And
good.
especially even in the trailer, there's that shot, no, where characters are going somewhere. There's a big statue lifting. No, we'll not give the details,
Oh,
but
beautiful.
that was
Oh
a
my
beautiful shot. I really, when I was watching that scene, I felt like the ticket money I paid is worth the shot. I am sold with just this shot. I don't care about the rest of the movie. That
I
one
was
shot.
like, the
the
600
money is
crore
worth.
budget is worth the
Worth
shot.
it.
Oh my
Definitely
God.
worth it. It
wow.
was nice.
Especially since I had forgotten about the trailer scene.
Yeah.
So when I watched it for the first time, I was like. So I watched the first half 2 times, guys. First time I was doing news reporter work. Second time was when I was doing the reviewer work.
Yeah.
So when the first time I was watching with the fans, I'm with the whole
Yeah.
entourage of Prabhas fans, everybody cheering, paper cuttings and all, and then you see this.
Okay, finally the prop worked that way. Good. Even though I'm not sold with the weapons, I agree to you.
Mhm.
In the film especially, it looked very funny in a lot of scenes. But still, the visual effects of the weapon usage, the nanotechnology that they have used, and the blending, the smoothness with which the fight
The
scenes are-
nanotechnology is what name we've given to it, no? It wasn't named in the film.
in the
was it?
film, no.
Yeah.
No, but Blue, that Marvel has given that
Star
it's
Wars,
nanotechnology.
Star
Yeah,
Wars,
Star Wars, all of them.
films.
So it's nanotechnology. Execution was amazing. Second half with all the Buji, all the highlights, and especially for me personally, the climax also worked. So second half is definitely worth the shot.
Yeah, let's talk about the action sequence.
Action sequences, I like the first action sequence. There was one action sequence that I didn't like. It was unnecessary to the screenplay.
Choreography wise, if we talk about it, all of Prabhas's action sequences were choreographed in a way it suits his character of being lethargic and lazy.
Correct.
Ashwatthama's choreography is what really stole the show
Oh my
for me.
god,
because-
how did they achieve that feat? Because I still can't believe it's 81-year-old man doing
I know.
all of that.
So when we used to get the news that Big B has been injured while filming
Yeah.
a scene, we used to think, oh my god, why
What
is he
is he
doing
doing?
this at this point?
Yeah.
Why take this risk? What's the... But
Actually, I was
man, it
expecting
worth
this
it.
kind of role in Brahmastra, to be honest, but okay. But that Ashwadhama versus two fights between Ashwadhama and Bhairava were gold. Pure cinema, that is. Yeah, one thing that I wanted to talk, very important, guys. First of all, I really want to congratulate and kudos to Nag Ashwin for the vision. So even though the screenplay,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, we definitely understand
100%.
what the budget constraints are and why the screenplay is in a certain way. I see some, this is how it is supposed to go, and then slowly a lot of things started changing. Though that can be clearly understood with the movie, but still
Right.
the detailing, vision to visual, and the way he used Amitabh Bachchan and second half mein Prabhas and everything. Second half overall. For just imagining something like this and getting it on screen, good job.
So if you talk about references in the film, you can see Star Wars, you can see Mad Max, you
Yeah.
can see Dune, you can see Infinity War. But just think, all these films with their Hollywood budget
Correct.
of over $300 million, which is, we can't even imagine, more than 2,000 or
Yeah.
3,000 crores probably. I'm not able to do the maths as
Yeah.
well. So when we think about it, we already see Kalki as this big budgeted Indian film with its 600 crore. But when you actually consider it and compare it with the output, it is actually a small budget which is making
Correct.
huge waves, which is actually showing that Indian cinema, even with this budget, can do a lot more than just a Robo 2.
And not just that, personally, I feel even though there are so many references that if you pick, you will get the Hollywood movie references, but nothing felt just picked for the scene or unnecessary. It smoothly
Except
blended
for
into
the
the
fire
movie.
scene.
మూర్తి గారు ఇలాంటప్పుడే గుండె రాయి చేసుకోవాలి.
Hey. Kamal Hassan. How did we miss that, bro?
He was there for 2 scenes. That is why we missed him.
No. But still, the performance, the prosthetics, the makeup, the set design, the voice modulation, especially in the Telugu version, though, it gave me chills.
It did?
Yeah, it did.
See, I'm not a Telugu speaking person, so without any subtitles, makers, this is a complaint of many people. So please give subtitles because we like to watch the film in its original language. So, as a non-Telugu speaking audience, I didn't really connect that much because for me, first of all, I am understanding the lines. I'm just learning and I'm understanding all the other actors' lines with a little bit of hard work. But Kamal Hassan's with that voice modulation, I really could not understand what he was saying. I'm sure you will understand.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I'm
He's
not saying he
200
did a
plus.
bad guy. Yeah, it was a great performance.
Yeah,
So that was Kamal Hassan.
yes. So all the Mahabharata portions also were really good. Some here and there hiccups with Amitabh Bachchan's
yeah.
de-aging slash
Yeah,
3D
yeah.
model look. But the overall Krishna, the entire Mahabharata
Yeah, another
sequence
reference
works for
to
me.
Justice League, the first one.
The mustache.
Yeah.
He feels like the Henry Cavill piece happened with
The Henry
Ashwadhama.
Cavill disaster
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened in Justice League
I
happened with
didn't feel that.
Ashwatthama in this one.
I didn't feel that way. What do you think? Mention that in
You
the
please
comments
check out the trailer and the beauty with which the de-aging has been shown, and then compare it to the film.
below. Okay.
So that also happened. We're going back to the disappointment. Why go back
No,
to
no, no.
the-
We'll end it on a very good note, guys. Yeah, this movie could have been much, much better, and maybe
It could be in the
yeah,
future.
any movie can be much, much better, but still, for the money, for the vision, for the visual, it is definitely worth watching it on big screens and theaters. And because we are cinephiles, we have that chill of looking at the details and talking. That is this
Nitpicking.
talking that happened. I think you might agree with something, you might disagree with something. Your disagreements, agreements, put it in the comments below.
Yes.
Whatever you think, but it's
Uh-huh.
still definitely we recommend the movie.
And yeah, I also please go and watch films. Please go and watch films like this, because this also encourages other filmmakers to take up big risks like this.
Correct.
And no matter what complaints we had, no matter whatever pointing out the nitpicking that we did
Correct.
about the first half, second half, this, everything else, the effort and the vision needs to be acknowledged in this
Correct.
film, because whatever ratings we give to this, there will always be a +1 or a +2 for the kind of vision, the kind of output, and the
Correct.
kind of efforts that
Yeah.
has been put into this film, especially by the director Nag Ashwin, because
Correct.
throughout the press conferences, Rana was only talking about the kind of guy Nag is and the way his vision, he brought this vision into reality and all of it. So beautifully
Definitely
done.
worth it. So
And
we are not recommending
at
movies
the
like
end-
Adipurush because the vision, conviction is important, and this movie really has that. So it definitely
Yes,
deserves
and
your shot.
to take another shot at somebody for no reason at all, we back Brahmastra so much. So this film definitely deserves your love. This attempt is this visionary attempt is much better than Brahmastra's visionary attempt.
Yeah, and one more thing is for all the audience, right? This is a very new attempt from Indian cinema also. So if assume I am Nag Ashwin, the director of the film, I would really want to know how would people receive these kind of movies and what
Yeah,
would they expect
yeah.
with this kind of movie. So if you go watch, you don't like it, you didn't like this, that, like how we have our opinions, talk about it so that the other budding filmmakers or somebody, we will know what kind of cinema people like, what kind of cinema vision we have. You know, it's a very healthy space to be in.
Yeah, and to anybody who is thinking that arey isne kya hai, I'll just watch it on OTT,
No. It's a loss for you.
please go and watch it in the theaters, because visually it is amazing. We are regretting that we haven't watched it in an IMAX screen yet.
Yeah, we will watch the movie multiple times, and if we find unnoticed details and things like that, once
Yeah.
the Hawa is over a little bit, spoilers can be spoken, we will do
With
that video
spoilers,
also.
we'll come with all the references.
But star ante
whatever.
rebel ante rajera, he danced, guys. Outside theater.
Not gonna do it now. That was Prabhas fan peer pressure.
Still, Prabhas fans are capable of making him dance. So, yeah,
But then fans, that if Prabhas is dancing because of his fans, why will I not?
fair enough. Yes, that's it for this video. I hope you liked our discussion. We spoke a lot of details. I know you might disagree with some of our things. Be civil, use comment section, go for it. That's it. This is Maruti Acharya.
And I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And you're watching India Today So South. Please do subscribe, like. We are receiving a lot of love. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Please continue giving us love.
Yes, watch all of our other content as well. We do a lot of entertainment.
Tamanna interview.
Oh yeah.